Hello and welcome to another episode of the Standard Grind with Goblin Ringleader, also known as Jack. Today we're going to be jumping in, playing some Standard on Arena, doing some Brawl. Thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate you. Let's just jump right into it. So we're going to open up Arena. So I've been having a lot of fun with the new Aether Drift cards overall. So House Squad Heavy's been amazing. I went undefeated in Pioneer the other day, playing the only additions from the new set were 2 House Squad Heavy, no Draconautics Engineer because our 2-drop slot is already really full in Pioneer. And we played 3 Mog Fanatics, or not Mog Fanatics, Fanatical Firebrand in the main. And besides that, I don't think we played any of the like Draconautics Engineer or Afterburner Expert, but oh my god, did it feel really good. And yeah, so we're just gonna be jamming Standard. The Pioneer list feels very tight. The Standard list is the one that I really want to test. The main thing being the sideboard numbers, whether or not Pyroclasm is good enough, if Screaming Nemesis, if I want to like trim Witch Stalker Frenzy for like a singleton. We could go like trim. We could go litho, Mythic Barrage, and we could just say, we have 2, 2, 2, 2, and then against like the discard decks, we could bring in Baloth plus Screaming Nemesis or removal, depending on what their build is. So the main thing that we're testing is just the sideboard. Everything else seems pretty locked in for the energy that's coming up. We're gonna do a standard energy March 15th, and then a Pioneer energy. It's a 10K on Saturday playing standard, and then it's gonna be a 5K on Sunday playing standard. And so I'm super excited. I think that Goblins is best in Pioneer, and it's best in standard. I think that it probably goes in playability. Pioneer, Legacy, Standard, Modern. And that's really saying something because the Legacy deck is so powerful. But I think that the way that the current build of the Goblins deck fits into the meta, I think that Pioneer is just in a really good spot for Goblins to have a good finish. And yeah, super excited. Hopeless Nightmare is definitely going to pitch one of these lands. That's not an issue at all. Storm Chasers, Spyglass. Okay. Because I am prepared now that everything's gonna be fine. One day, too late, in the end, I am aware. I'm shooting this Spyglass siren. Going to combat and attack. Go to 2 speed. Make sure everything's working. Discard this land. We want our second green source. So this Verge is very important. Because I am aware now that everything's gonna be fine. Go to combat. All attack. They can throw no effects. Damage is good at my end. Go to 3 speed. Play the Afterburner Expert. Now they have to choose Burnout Astronaut or Afterburner Expert. Probably gonna hit the Expert. It does deal more damage. But now we have a really good top deck. If we hit a Afterburner, or not an Afterburner, if we hit a Draconautics Engineer, we can go play cast Draconautics, activate, bring the card back with haste, start smacking. Yeah, I feel like we're probably in a really good spot. They just uptick a... Well, I mean, if I go sack this to ping them to 15, they're at 5. I play this, and then I pump this. and I attack all of you at him at the Kaido. Kaido dies. And that might have been like a lot of damage that we threw away, but now they don't have a Kaido that can slow us down in the future. They're drawing less cards. They don't just get to surveil every turn. We'll go to combat, see if they have removal. They can kill this Bastronaut. Well, I would like to pump. And then pump. Sure. Surveil 2. Or scry 2, sorry, not surveil. Cards don't go in the graveyard. Very important. It's an attack for a bunch. That's 7. Looks like they drew a land. Now they're really trying to figure out what to do with this last card. I'm kind of just going to play it a little slow here. Play a Howl Squad. This will give this Afterburn Expert next turn haste. This is still 4 damage coming across. Yeah, if they have a removal spell, this is probably why they were sandbagging it. They want to try to figure out what's the highest impact threat. Okay, this town's a good way to answer that. So go to combat. At least I didn't pump the burnout a bunch. Still before combat to kill the Howl Squad. Okay. Combat, attack. Play this. And now I have lethal next turn if they draw land. But they have a reef. Oh, this is tough. Okay. There's pros and cons. We still have a really good draw in the Draconautics Engineer, being able to give our other Afterburner haste when it comes back. It's kind of like a Vengevine. I really like the fact that we got a Goblin Vengevine. It feels very strong. So, okay. It's a decent card. I think it's worth it. So we're going to cast the Dropkick. This draws the ire of their removal. However, that means that they won't be killing the creature that does the attacking. Inversely, they could say, you know what, I kind of need to kill this 2/2 a double strike, and they leave me with the Lord, which would be something that I'm kind of okay with, because then my Firebrand does more damage over time. So, bounce. Oh, running this towns are pretty good draws, I'll be honest. Puts them to 5, replay the burnout. Now they have a really interesting decision to make. Do they kill the Dropkick Bomber? Yes, they kill the Dropkick Bomber. This looks like a Storm Chasers talent. If they're doing it now, I would guess it's Storm Chasers. No playing anything, eh? That's interesting. We'll go to combat. All attacks, 2 attacks. Oh, they have removal? Okay. That's fine. Kills it? Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to play this and this. Next turn, I can activate my Afterburner Expert to bring back the other one and make this a 6/4. Okay, so triple bounce spell in a row. Map it up so it doesn't die to either one of these. Or I guess they're going to kill this, so this one won't die. Another Fear of Isolation. Bin the Fear of Isolation because they're looking for something better. I don't know what's going to be better than that. Interesting. Land Firebrand. I can activate both of these at instant speed. Go to combat. Attack with these two. Go to blocks. See how they block. So they have to block the Afterburner Expert, because if they don't block the Afterburner Expert, I can just ping them and they die. So they block the Afterburner Expert, and then they have an option whether or not to kill the Grease Wrench with the removal spell. The other reason that they have to block the Afterburner Expert is if they try to kill it, in response, I can make it really big. So here, they're just going to try to go for a trade. No, they're going to try to get me to activate in response. Damage is fine. So now they have to kill the Grease Wrench. Because if they don't kill the Grease Wrench, then I get to activate after combat. Yeah, so now they target my Grease Wrench. They still target the Afterburner Expert. Well, that's a mistake, because now I let that resolve. And then I, before damage, activate Grease Wrench, discarding no cards to put a counter on it. They go to damage. They go to 2. And I have a ping and 4 attackers. Curiosity will draw them a card. They can look for a nowhere to run. That's fine. They get to draw, the draw, and concede. Okay. So we're going to our sideboards. That was a pretty good match. Triple bounce off the top is very strong. As is. Kind of want to trim the Krinkos. Kind of want to keep them. The issue is a 4-drop's not ever really going to stick around. Afterburner's good enough late game as is. Dropkick Bomber's not the greatest by itself, so that gives us 3 cards. We could just bring in Lithomanthic and say, oh, did they play Esper? No, it's just black-blue. So it's just Dimir. I think we just go Baloth. Screaming Nemesis. Let's try it like that. It's really close. Basically, we're just lowering our curve a little bit. I guess we're not, because we're bringing in Baloth. But against this deck, I would consider Baloth a 0-mana creature, because you're having it in your hand so that you have something for free to discard. Now, if this was another Baloth, as is, it's okay. It's not the greatest. We'll run it. Okay, so not a turn 1 Nightmare. We will go, I'm on the draw, so trading with this otter is important. What's up, Brian? Appreciate you being here. Wow. Hell yeah. Shout out to Brian, losing in the finals of an RCQ. Yes. That's what we want. That's why the Goblin Horde is here. Straight up. Give you the knowledge that you need to succeed in your local FNMs and your RCQs. So shout out to you. I didn't do that. You did that. So big shout out to you, Brian. I'm just a man who loves goblins, so I'm just blessed that I could give you a little bit of information. Hopefully, watching all the streams helped inform your decisions and help you know what matchups are tough, which matchups aren't. But it sounds like you're a grinder, and it sounds like you do this by yourself, which makes me feel even more honored, because it's really hard for a grinder to pick up a deck. It means that the deck is really good. And so shout out to my my buddy Brian in the chat for taking goblins to an RCQ and losing in the finals. That's the dream. And so I'm really happy that's one ping I should have gotten, but I'm really happy to hear that, bro. Thank you so much for sharing that. That makes me smile a lot. That makes me so happy, because it's a community. The goblins, we're all doing this together. And if you ever get a good result or anything like that happens, you just let me know. 1000%. I would love to shout you out in a short or anything like that. Okay. Boom, boom. So it looks like my opponent's got this game pretty wrapped up. If we get to go like land, we're in a pretty good spot. Otherwise, we might be struggling. Yeah, looks like we're going to be struggling. But we get to kind of slow our opponent down. They get to pick up this go for the throw next turn if they have nothing else. Yeah, so Brian, then I think that Goblins has a really good like matchup versus the field right now. The only decks that I feel like it really struggles against are Caretakers, which are dying off, and Domain, which is on the upswing. Goblins and Pioneer, yes, yes. Congrats, Brian. That's awesome. Yeah, you top aided. Wow, that's amazing, dude. Yeah, I think Pioneer Goblins is amazing as well. You heard I was just talking about it. Just like all the different combinations of options that we have. I got 12th at an NRG 5K this last year, like the end of like November, I think. So big shout out to Pioneer Goblins. Big shout out to you, Brian. That's really hard to do, and respect. You got to keep carrying the torch. The Goblin Horde is succeeding. Yeah, no, I love Pioneer. I think that Chain Whirler and Call are just such busted cards. And then like really the beauty of Pioneer in general is you can just build a Goblins deck however you'd like to play. I built it with Call and Chain Whirler when I was doing mine with Fable, and oh, the list was just so good. I'd be interested to hear what you played, bro. Let me see. Opponent is doing the control thing, but I think that's kind of fine. They're running out of cards. We're gonna trade with this land. And eventually we're going to be in a good spot. Screaming Nemesis is like our best draw. Start schmacking. Awaken the Kraken and start schmacking. Because I feel the word someday. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Yeah, they didn't mill me because I have these afterburner experts, and that makes a lot of sense. So we're racing. I think we just play a 4-2 then. And we schmack. And eventually we're going to draw our second green source, and we're just going to slam this Baloth. Oh no! Opponent, you didn't know. The opponent didn't know. I guess we didn't do it turn 1, so that's pretty good. Yep, pick up a spell. I think you're dead though. Goblin. Dropkick Bomber. 9, 12. Yes! Goblin Gang! We're doing it. GG's, Goblin Gang. Straight up. Hidden Depths. Yeah, I feel like Afterburner Expert is crazy. I honestly, the last time that a standard deck felt this good was when I was playing Ramnop Red. And so I'm super excited to hear that other people are trying it, other people are having success with it. I never say that I have like a monopoly on goblins. Magic is an open game. Everybody can play this. I just create content that I love. And if you like it, hopefully you enjoy the deck too. And so that's the beautiful thing about Magic, right? I just create things and then I give them to the universe. And however you guys like to make stuff, I would love. I mean, I love to see other people have success with decks because to me, I'm a Vorthos player first. I'm a lore guy. I don't really mind like. To me, the biggest thing in my brain is not like the win. The biggest thing to me is the story. So it's really nice to be able to like hand the mantle off to competitive players and be like, here, you got this, bro. Go do something crazy. And it's nice for me to just hear about that, especially in the comments section. So thank you so much for dropping in. That meant a lot to me. Okay, my shoes caught on my computer. Okay. Firebrand, Botanical Sanctum. This is probably going to be an unsummon. So to play around an unsummon, we're just going to go to combat first. Yeah, because we go combat, second main, Seer Slicer. Next turn, we go both of these. Play a Cavern on Goblin. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And once again, I far away. I want to go to world someday. Song stuck in my head so bad. Okay. We're going to go Blue-green. I don't think I'm really scared of any removal out of blue-green. So I'll play a Lord, play a Bastronaut. Just go all in. Attack. Opponent just concedes because, yeah, they don't really have a lot of stuff. Yes, 1000%. Brian, 1000%. I would very much so appreciate that. And I think everybody would like to click on that link and see it. 1000%. I appreciate you asking, though. That means a lot. Let me see. I would say it's probably like the only kind of links that I would like permit in chat would be like deck lists. 1000%. I would love to see what you were playing. Talking too much, forgot. Oh yeah, there's no way that I could remember what they were playing. That's right. Blue-green is probably Terror, and they didn't draw their black source. So if it's Terror, if it's like Sultai Terror, I want my ley lines, and I don't want Krenko, an Afterburner, Expert Dropkick, or a Firebrand. Try it like that. Of course. Appreciate you, Brian. Legend. We got a legend in the chat. Let me see. Money game. Okay. I won't complain. This hand's good. This hand's better than it was. When you go to when you take a mold of 5, sometimes you get frustrated, but this hand is actually decent. We're just gonna keep bottom A land, bottom A Draconautics, have the pregame. Our opponent's gonna show us that they're not playing that deck. Cause I've been living far away and I'll get on the world someday. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Is the omniscience list? Curious. All right, play a 2/2. Doesn't kill their Llanowar elves, so I'm interested in what they're going to be doing. Archdruid's Charm. Scene of the crime is... Well, that's an instant? Wow, that's really good. Tap and untap creature, sack this land to draw. Okay, so this is color fixing. Interesting. They have 4 mana. They can flash an Enduring Curiosity. I don't really want to attack. I think I'm just going to throw this guy out. If it gets countered, it gets countered. Because then I can bring it back. Attack with the Draconautics. Show me what you got. Show me what you've got. They had nothing. Okay, so they're probably going to draw. Okay. They are a graveyard deck. That's interesting. Relic of Legends. So they're a combo. They're a graveyard combo deck. Okay. 4 mana. I think we just start our engines. Start our engines and then attack. I think that Hollow Squad Heavy is probably the best goblin that we've had. I don't want to say ever, but since... What was the last good goblin that got printed before this set? Could be Squee. Could be... Hollow Squad is as good as... Okay, I'm going to go out and say it. Hollow Squad is as good as Goblin Rabble Master. I'd love to hear you tell me that I'm wrong. Hollow Squad Heavy is the new Rabble Master. That's kind of crazy to think about. Damage is fine. I'm going to hold up this 1 mana so that I can go bring back my Afterburner if it dies ever. They're at 11. I get to go land. If I have a land next turn, I can go Hollow Squad plus Horde Master. They only have 6 mana, right? Because it taps for colorless. Okay, yeah, it's a Manolith that allows you to tap and untap legend to do a combo thing. They're drawing. Okay. Cultivator Caravan. Okay, they're ramping. They have a good blocker though, so they're not completely dead. We did hit our land, which is what we needed. Play the Lord. Play that Howl Squad. Everything is haste. Attack with everything besides the Lord, because that just makes sense. They trump the 5, take a bunch, go to 2, 5, not 2, can't count. Go to 3, shift into third gear, and they concede. Okay, well, I'm guessing the ley line mattered because they unsummoned it, but we got there with damage. So it looks like my opponent's playing like probably Sultai Rona, but we just didn't get to see any of the combo cards, which for us is really good because that deck is nasty. When it does the thing, it does the thing. We're just gonna keep jamming. The grind never stops. Go to play Modern tonight at the Boar's Hat Gaming. Super excited for that. I have a crazy schedule. Monday I play Modern, Monday I play Standard at Boar's Hat. Tuesday's Pioneer at Boar's Hat. Wednesday's Modern at Nerd Rage Gaming. Thursday is Modern at Boar's Hat, and then Friday is either Legacy at Nerd Rage Gaming or Draft at Boar's Hat. And then I play RCQs Saturday and Sunday when there's RCQs. And then I do a stream every day. I do 10 plus YouTube shorts every day. So the grind literally never stops, and I love it. Mulligan, keep this hand, bottom my third land. Bottom of mountain. This means that if we draw a Verge, the Verge doesn't tap for a green, but this is a green source. So if we have like an activated ability and an Afterburner Expert, we want to have 2 of these non-cavern green sources. Cavern on Goblin. Play a Grease Wrench. Archive Spin. This looks like Esper Control. It's weird. We'll just play 2 1-drops, hoping that we draw a land next turn. If we don't draw a land next turn, then we're going to be kind of fine. Just playing our Lord. This loses to temporary lockdown, but it doesn't like concede. Like you don't just die. You're going to lose a lot of your board. However, if they don't have a temporary lockdown, and I get to just jam this Lord, I want to be the happiest man in the world. Kasmaka? Yeah. I mean, that's a good amount of damage. Opponent's going to do some digging. Yeah. Yeah, we love it when your opponent can't counter your spell, so they have to cycle their counter spell. I love you, Cavern. Cavern has saved me more. Cavern by itself has won me more games than my goblins have. And I love goblins, but I know that I have to be grateful for the Cavern. Opponent's playing blue-white control. They probably have 4 counter spells in hand. And 2 lands. They Wrath of God. They give me 4 death triggers. Goblin. Next to combat. Attack. This puts them... Are you going to trade with my 3/2? No, you're going to eat my Lord. In that case, we're going to pump. Pitch exclusively. Yeah, I'll auto pay. Pitch exclusively this Krenko. Draw a card. Put you to 1, and I have 2 Firebrands. And I have a death trigger. So sure, Sunfall's good. Play a Seer Slicer. Play a Seer Slicer. Another Sunfall. Maybe. Very interesting. The issue is they have enough mana to activate, eat. It's so close. I guess last turn I should have played the Draconautics Engineer, because this turn I would have been able to go make a dragon, fly it, and that eats the Restless Anchorage. Now they're probably going to be able to Leyline Binding my Afterburner Expert, or Exile at least. Deduce, okay. But then you take it all away. Yeah, you take it all away. And then you throw it in my face. And then you take it all away. Day of Judgment's fine. Wow, that's crazy. Draconautics. Activate, give the thing haste. It doesn't give itself haste, so that's important. Trade. Okay. Yep, Sunfall just for my one dude. Howl Squad Heavy gives things haste. Go to combat. I will trade with that token you have. I mean, Stock Up's really good. That's a card I was super high on when I first looked at Aether Drift. I felt like, being able to look at the top 5 is usually like 4 mana or more. So top 5 pick 2 is really good rate, especially when you think that Impulse has been 2 mana look at the top 3 forever. So 1 more mana, an extra 2 cards, and you get to keep an extra card. It's just also good. They're tapped out. Play the Afterburner. Combat, get a guy. All attack. You block 4, you take 5. GG's opponent, well played. Yeah, it's always a sweat playing against control. Always. 1, 2, taking out the Krenko. Probably another Lord isn't the greatest. Firebrand isn't the greatest. Let's do it like that. Krenko can... But if we get to that part of the game is just over. This can be a board in the box, which by itself could be like the greatest thing in the world. I guess no, they have counters up the you know what. So I'm gonna keep in my goblins and just say that you know what, against them, I think that Cavern is just great because they have so many counter spells. Brian, I didn't see the list in chat. If you meant to send it, it might be being blocked by YouTube because they saw it's a link. If so, no worries. What you can do is you can either, I don't want to say reach out to me like directly, but what you can do is you can go to my YouTube page. On my YouTube page, I have my email and everything that you can contact me there. If you email it to me, I'll bring it up on stream. If you do it, while we're on stream. If you don't feel comfortable emailing me, no worries at all. What I can do is if you said you RCQ, I can try to find top lists from RCQs for goblins, and I can look through that until I see Brian. I wanna give you the visibility that you deserve because you did well with the list, but I don't see it, and it might be that YouTube is being stingy about links, which I hate it when they do that. But yeah, let me know if you can find my information and send it to me directly. If not, no worries. You could also just kind of tell me the general gist of it in chat. If you don't want to email me, no worries. Opponents on the play in blue-white. I think I keep this because I have triple 1-drop and a Cavern. They're definitely going to have a split up or a temporary lockdown, so I just got to mind that and play accordingly. Firebrand is going to be a good late game card. Astronaut doesn't really do enough early, but I think that it's so bad if we wait on playing it. We kind of just got to get it down now. They have a demolition field, which I'm going to try to trick them into using. Combat. Yeah, if they get lost here, that tells me they don't have a temporary lockdown because they would not use the removal if they had a temp lockdown. I don't believe. Unless they can go, oh yeah. That would make sense though. If they can temporary lockdown on 4 instead of 3, then the get lost makes sense here. Turning off my death triggers and my afterburner expert triggers. Okay. Mountain. They have Day of Judgment. I'm going to map onto my Bastronaut. Okay. And then I'm going to map onto my Bastronaut. Okay. Well, I mean, we drew 2 cards. That's good. We won't be flooding for 2 more turns. Now they have to decide, do they want a Wrath here? Base is pretty good. I don't know. I think it doesn't have double strike yet. So I can pump it up to not that big. So play the dropkick. I can play a Firebrand. is weird. So I play a firebrand. I ping their face. Max speed, double strike, combat, attack like this. I know it's a weird attack, I know. I don't care if they double block with fish. I only care if they block fish Beza. Yeah. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see them go, this sucks, and just not block. So now they have an interesting spot. They can go land Sunfall or Day of Judgment. Stock up is neither of those things. Okay. Oof. It's also templated really nice where you don't have to reveal the cards you grab. Also, I will say that I thought this had this guy had a crazy mustache, but he's just got a carrot in his mouth. Or maybe he has a crazy mustache and a character in his mouth. We are now accepting over 11 different interplanar currencies, including polished moonfall. It's pretty awesome. Authority of the consoles, however, is less awesome. Go to mine. I mean, they're kind of tapped down. 4 mana. We'll go Verge. I mean, I can pop them for a bunch in the air. I can pump this to a 3/2 with double strike. But I want it to have one more power so that I can first strike eat the Beza with this Fanatical Firebrand. So I think the move right now is no attacks. Will end. Head in hands. Yeah, it's happening. Okay. So what we can do is a sec, and I hit their face for 1. I guess we didn't have to play the Afterburner Expert here. We could have put the Firebrand in the air and smacked him. Yeah, because now we would be able to go double Afterburner Expert, which would have been really strong. As is, we're not going to complain. We take the L's. I really like the art for Rest in Peace, though. It's super cool. No graveyard, 3 cards in hand. Cavern Goblin. Activate. Or trade with the 6/6? I don't think that makes sense. They probably trade with the Beza and keep the 6/6. Yep. I like caffeine, I like weed, I like therapy indeed. Sorry, song's like mad. Okay. Beza, the Bounding Star, a second authority of the consoles. Well, and a stock up. See, I'm gonna concede to the stock up. I can try to beat this stuff, but it's not really gonna work. I think we're just on the play. We're on the play, and we're saying my deck's faster than yours, and we're gonna have to prove it to him. GG opponent. Sorry, I had to eat that pear. So yeah, it was really close. The question was whether or not we play the Krenko out. Playing the Krenko out would have ran into the Tidebinder, and we would have had the Lord stuck in our hand. The Lord being our play allowed us to just push damage a little bit faster, which meant a lot in the end. And then having the Krenko back allowed us to not be scared of a Sunfall, so that we could really invest in being aggressive. Excuse me. I'm gonna do one more before the Adventures of General Kriat begin. But yeah, if you like the content, Goblins content, every day on the channel, we're gonna stream every day in Standard or Legacy or Modern, Pauper, Pioneer. We don't know. We're gonna wake up. It's gonna be a new format almost every day. Right now it's Standard because we're grinding for the RCQs and the energies. Eventually we'll rotate back into Modern. We don't really do a lot of Pioneer content right now. We could change that if you guys comment and let me know that you want to see more Pioneer content. Otherwise, just like and subscribe if you enjoy Goblins content. It means the world to me. And yeah, thank you so much. Against what looks like blue-black could also be just Esper Bounce. So we'll see. Old school blue-black control has kind of fallen off recently. Okay. If we draw a land, this Grease Wrench can discard the Afterburner and the Krenko, which are the two cards we can't cast, to draw two. And this Draconautics can bring the Afterburner back for free. So it's like we didn't discard anything of value at all. This is probably the blue 2/1 that taps a creature and it is Vigilance, and you can pay 2 and shuffle it in its owner's library to shuffle the creature with a stun counter into its owner's library. Go to combat. Before combat, they're going to shrink down my Lord. That's fine. It's probably going to take my land off the top. No. Well, then playing that was the best. Oh, the perfect land, Goblin. Play a Lord. It can't be countered now, which is huge. I'll go to combat and I'll attack into the Enduring Curiosity. They go for the throw it. Okay. So next we're going to play Afterburner into Draconautics activate, bring it back. Because we're really trying to hit these land drops. If I can hit a land for the rest of the game on 4, 5, 6, I'd be happy. I'll just throw the creature into this Restless Sleeve. I think not. Not today, Satan. Alrighty then. Let me see what we can do against this opponent who's got all of these cards in their hand. Deduces. I deduce that they be deduced is. Go into combat, pass to attack, that's fine. Go to my turn. That would also be fine. Land is amazing. Goblin. Play a Lord. Go to combat. Swing for 5. Trade with a Restless Reef. I mean, I'll take the free card. Okay, my land's gone. That's fine. I think I'm not going to play this Draconautics Engineer. I'm going to hold it so that I can make sure I play it next turn. Also, I could just slam a Krenko next turn. If I'm going to play a Krenko next turn, I guess the Draconautics this turn was the play. Lifecraft Engine. As this vehicle enters, choose a creature type. Vehicle creatures you control the chosen type and creature type in addition to the other types. Each creature you control the chosen type other than this vehicle gets +1/+1. Okay. So this is a goblin. Oh, they're playing Rat Tribal. Okay. That's pretty cool. Go to mine. I'll draw a Lord. What I'm going to do is just go to combat, attack, then just slam a Krenko. Say, my opponent, if you're not doing too much, I'm just going to play this Krenko, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Played another land. Okay. Gix's command. Sacks my Krenko. I get 2 death triggers. Land gone. Land gone. Okay. It's kind of fine by me. We'll just slam another Krenko. Pass it over, because next turn we can do dumb things. If we hit another land. If we hit a land, we can go Draconautics Engineer, Seer Slicer, give it haste. You can go Draconautics Engineer, tap Krenko, give the stuff haste, and everything comes back. Do a land, that's pretty good. So we run it back as we said. We go Draconautics. Here's my Seer Slicer. Tap this Krenko. Control, full control. Tap this Krenko. Trigger on the stack. 3 will be fine. Now we do this. All these tokens get haste. Swings. End step, get a guy. And I have a Lord. Good to know, though, my opponent is not... What? Sure. I get to keep my Krenko? Oh, hell no. I can't do the Lord. But that's pretty good. We make 3 guys, make a dude, go to combat, attack for 7. That's amazing. Okay. Playing up against Blue Black Rat control. How much removal did they have? That's a lot of removal. Disfigure is probably not going to be the greatest against a Screaming Nemesis. Probably trim like a Firebrand. Dropkick. Let's try it like that. Keep our top end the same. Just trying to adapt. Bringing in these Screaming Nemesises, which will probably be not something that they are not prepared for. Screaming Nemesis is one of those cards that when you play it, your opponent either goes, oh shit, or they go, oh yeah, I'm prepared. I have my sideboard tech to kill your Screaming Nemesis. My favorite thing to do with the Screaming Nemesis is a Twisted Fealty. I like to steal it and then put a Wicked Roll, Wicked Roll on one of my other creatures so that I can like take their blocker and then crash in for the most damage possible. Feels really good. Act of Treason, always very strong in Standard. If you have a good aggressive deck that knows how to play it. Opponent, doing the thing. Having a My Little Pony birthday party, apparently. Shout out to them. Respect. Whatever makes you smile. Waiting on my opponent. This hand's amazing. It's a 7-card hand with 2 lands that I can cast all my spells. And it's getting better, I feel like this is how I stay irrelevant. I wish I could run away and know where I would be someday. I feel alone, I feel so alone. Pow? Wakapui? Smacky? I'll play a Seer Slicer. My opponent's going to play a 3-mana Wrath, but that's fine because I get to go land, Seer Slicer, Firebrand, rebuild immediately. Kill it before the end step. Yep. They didn't disfigure my grease wrench goblin before though, so I don't understand. Goblin. Go to combat. I'll pitch to land. No, because that's worse. Damage is good. Oh, but they play Gix's command. I think I like holding this as my rebuild. So I think I'm just going to play... Oh, Bastronaut means that I can't discard if they go to kill it. I think I'll keep playing Must Answer Threats. They'll keep killing it. Eventually I'll be able to discard with this Grease Wrench when I have nothing else to do. I'll pitch 2 other lands and we'll be good. Could have played a Bastronaut, but I think that they're creeping towards Damnation mana really fast. Engine Rat. Okay. It's pretty awesome. Mountain. Well, this Dropkick Bomber just got a lot better. I don't know. They could have a Gix's command. If they have Gix's command, do I care? They go, everything is -2/-2, and they kill my biggest thing. That's pretty good. So what can I do to stop that? Nothing. I can go Firebrand. Ping the Engine Rat. Bounce the creature for 2 mana. Okay. I just know that they're going to board wipe me next turn. So with that in mind, do I just push as much damage as possible or do I hold back? I think I hold back. So we go to combat, we attack. I'm going to activate this. I'm going to discard this Cavern and the Bastronaut because the 1-drop really doesn't do much here. I don't have max speed. 2 good cards. Hell yeah. Put them at 10, make a dude. If they tap out, I get to slam this Lord. If not, and they board wipe, it's to be expected. The only way I can double spell this turn is if I go Grease Wrench and Dropkick. Or Grease Wrench into Sear Slicer. But I think it's best just to run this into the removal. Here's my Afterburner Expert that you can kill. I guess I'll just play a Grease Wrench as well. This way, if they kill the Afterburner, I can discard a land if I top deck it. And bring back the Afterburner Expert. Okay, Marsh Stalker for sure. Double Marsh Stalker, okay. And that's 5 mana. Probably just do that. We can just go Dropkick. Sear Slicer. No attacks. You're hellbent, I'm hellbent, but I can jump my dudes. A Gix's command would be really good. This is probably a Gix's command. I'll go to 10. This does mean I die to that Risen Reef. Okay, so it was a bluff. pitch this, draw that. Land. Combat. I guess I should have waited to activate this till after damage. That's the way to do it. So then they trade, and then I go, okay, well, you know, after burner dies, I get to bring it back for free. So that was a missequence for sure. I think I'm gonna jump this. Jump the afterburner. Jump the grease wrench. Put them to 1. Yeah, I could have just jumped the sear slicer. And they would be dead. So that was a punt. I make mistakes so that you don't have to. They're gonna make me lose too. That's pretty damn good. Now I got a block too. If they activate Resin Reef and swing out, I guess the engine rat doesn't have to attack. Yeah, if I traded with one of these last turn, I guess they wouldn't be at 1. It's weird. Okay. Trade. Trade. No. I guess trade the Lord. Sear Slicer makes a bunch of dudes. I think that's fine. Oh, baby. Never punished. Always lucky. It won't come back with haste unless I do this. And goal. Hell yeah. Oh, baby. That was awesome. Okay. And at the